Hello, Chef Marcus Guiliano here, and I'm your chef on a mission. Today's mission is business. Business. So I'm really honored that FeedSpot just listed me as my 50mistakes.com website as one of the top 15 restaurant marketing websites out there, which I'm super honored to have that just happened August 2018. So, I do a lot of coaching now for restaurants. I wrote some books, 50 Mistakes That Business Owners Make. The link is below in my YouTube description. Where to get this one for free, get it for free. I'll ship it to you. This book is also on there, plus my academy and stuff, my Restaurant Success Academy. So I'm on a lot of groups on Facebook where I see consultants and coaches out there. And this is twice now in the last week, 2 times that a coach or people that want to do coaching or are doing coaching said, "Hey, Marcus, if you have any other clients you can't get to, I'll coach them. I'll be happy to coach them." And this some conversation like that has gone down in the last 2 weeks, twice in the last 2 weeks. The funny thing is, the people that are saying that to me have never owned a restaurant. And as I'm looking at some of these people on Facebook that are giving advice to other restaurateurs and telling them what to do, have never ever owned a restaurant. They might know media, marketing, digital marketing, things like that, but when it comes to the restaurant industry, folks, the restaurant industry is a very unique breed of businesses. What appears to be on the outside is really not what's on the inside. And here's my biggest suggestion here. If you're a restaurateur and you're going to get a consultant or a coach, they should have either restaurant experience, like they've been in the restaurant, but I don't think that's good enough. I think they actually need to own a restaurant, because owning a restaurant versus working in a restaurant are 2 different things. When I worked in a restaurant, I was a partner in a restaurant, and then I was also a partner in a restaurant, and I was also worked at 3 country clubs. I was the executive chef in 3 country clubs before I opened my restaurant. 3. So what I had to do in the country club and in the restaurant as a partner was a fraction of what I do now as being a restaurant owner. It's amazing the extra amount of work or all the other work that has to go into being a successful restaurateur. When I was in the country clubs, and the country clubs are a unique breed themselves because they have memberships and they get a recurring monthly payment from these country clubs from the members. So I never had to worry about marketing. I never had to worry about balancing the budget. I had to submit a budget. I never had to worry about balancing the checkbook, things like that, worrying about cash flow. I never ever had to worry about cash flow before, right? So and there was some things I never ever had to worry about that I have to worry about as being a restaurant owner that have come in to be extremely valuable in my experience, which is why I wrote this book, 50 Mistakes That Restaurant Owners or Business Owners Make. And there could literally be 250 mistakes. It goes on and on and on. But because I'm in that position where I've made the mistakes or suffered from the lack of cash flow or whatever it is, I had to become a better marketer. I had to become a better business person. I had to become a better boss. I had to become a better person all around. And because of those consequences of being a better person, I feel I'm a better coach. And if I wanted to hire a coach to coach me, I would want to make sure that I hired a coach now to coach me for business, for my funnel and selling the books. I hired a guy who's doing it himself, who's doing it himself, and has a great reputation, but he's done it himself. So he knows about this business. As a restaurateur, I would never hire a guy, I would never hire a young kid who knows all about social media and knows nothing about the restaurant industry, especially who's never worked in the restaurant industry or actually owned their own restaurant. That's the key, owning their own restaurant. Because once you own your own restaurant, you understand the real costs of things, you understand cash flow, you understand a lot, the value of getting people in the door and what you'd pay for it. You understand so many more complexities that you would not if you've never put in that position. So go out when you find a coach, make sure they owned a restaurant or that they currently own a restaurant. There's a lot of coaches out there that own restaurants right now that still own a restaurant. The restaurant's so successful that they go out and coach other people on doing it, and it keeps them in touch. It keeps them in loop of things, and that's exactly what I do. I own a restaurant still, and I coach. So that's when I was going to culinary school, they told us in culinary school, or some people said, you want a teacher that that still works in the industry, not somebody who's been retired from the industry for 20 years, who's teaching kids these basic sauces and basic preparations. You want somebody that on the weekends goes to their own restaurant or owns a part of a restaurant or still involved in the restaurant industry or going to a catering hall and helping them do weddings and stuff like that. You want somebody that's there to teach you and somebody who's actually off-site doing something else. Now, some culinary schools, it's impossible because the schedules and everything for that teacher to be out there, but there's a lot of great culinary schools across America, especially community colleges where I went, where the teachers have off all summer long and they can work all summer, they can do things, they can have their hand in the industry and then come back in September and start rocking and rolling in this, in the school schedule. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe, and leave any questions.